welcome. Listen, if you've ever found yourself holding on too tightly to the people who don't choose you, questioning whether you're the problem, or struggling to let go of control in your love life, this conversation, my sister, is for you. Today, I am joined by one of my former clients, beautiful Miss Tina, who bravely did her inner work to release her love blocks, to explore the possibility of reconnecting with an ex from a place of alignment, and finally to make peace with not being chosen because she chose herself first. Now, this isn't just about relationships, it's about emotional freedom. So stick around because her story just might relate, just might reflect, I should say, a piece of your own and show you what's possible when you let go, do the inner work, and allow love to meet you where you are. So, again, welcome. When you are coming in, say hello. Let us know where you are coming in from. And without further ado, I'm going to briefly introduce myself and then I am going to bring on the beautiful Tina. So, I'm Marshawn Olanio. I'm a shift relationship strategist. And who do I serve? I serve professional Black women that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. They are doing the doggone thing within their careers. They have the house, they have the money, they have the car, but sometimes all of that doesn't translate into their love life. So sometimes she may be struggling with her confidence. She may be struggling with clarity on the type of relationship that she wants to be in, as well as struggling with showing courage within her romantic relationship because of things that she's been holding on to. So without further ado, that's who I am. Thank you so much. Let us know where you're watching this from. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up as well as subscribe for more conversations like this, because this is just the beginning with my former clients. So without further ado, I am going to add the beautiful Miss Tina to the stage. Hello, Tina. How are you?
Hello, love. I'm doing good. I'm excited. I'm ready to talk, baby. I'm ready to talk.
Okay. You ready? You ready? I love that. Okay. So let's do you want to do a brief introduction? Or are you okay?
My name is Tina Wolf. I am intimacy intuitive, and if you want to know more, you gonna have to follow me. So you figure that out. So we're gonna because I'm ready to get into it. So
Okay. Listen, let's jump into it then. We'll do the social media and all that stuff as we go on and at the end as well. So let's jump into it as you said. Before we started working together, what were you experiencing emotionally or mentally in your love life specifically?
one of the things I was doing was I was reconnecting with an ex at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to receive some type of like a second chance. I wanted to have a second chance with him. I felt like the initial break between us was kind of my fault.
Okay.
It was his fault too, but I felt like it was more my fault.
Okay.
I did more dirt. Um, I was always praying that, hey, if I ever could get a second chance with this individual, that I would love to have that chance.
Mm,
And so when we reconnected, it was almost like we never like stopped talking. It was just like
okay. Okay.
some of the old feelings of, is he still gonna choose me?
Mm,
Is he mad at me? Is he gonna just say he likes me to be with me? And
mm,
then all of a sudden he gonna dump me once I'm, giving my whole self to him. Like, does he want to hurt me back and get revenge at, for all the years? Because you're talking about over 23 years apart at that point.
okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what when I came to you, that was the biggest thing. Actually, you brought it to my attention, actually, because you asked the question. You're like, what's the one thing you're afraid of?
Mm,
What's the one thing you're afraid of with y'all's reconnection? And I was like, I'm afraid that he's gonna get with me and leave me. And you was like,
mm.
don't go into it like that.
Well. Well, okay, so tell us a little bit more about that if you can. You in the beginning, you were like, okay, I want to connect with this person, but I'm going in basically fearful. But I want to see where this is going to go. So how did you come through that? What did you do? Like, because I know you said I asked you a question, but was there something else that we talked about that we worked on that you remember?
Mhm. Well, for one, you gave me some some homework.
Mm, mm, my
And
specialty.
the homework you gave me, luckily for me, I had ordered like a ton of your books. So I had this particular book.
Listen, listen. Oh, boy. Okay, I'm grateful for you. Yes, amen. Okay.
Get on your Amazon, okay? Get on your Amazon. Um, but this book, I called it the Magic Book, and inside of the book, it is I'm grateful for you, an appreciation journal to cultivate mindfulness and acceptance for the man in your life.
Mm,
So it I don't want to give all the juice, but basically I started following the prompts, writing everything uh
mhm,
in here, and you basically start off in the beginning by saying what you want to work on,
mm,
and
mhm,
then throughout the whole week you work on it.
mhm,
Every
mhm.
day there's something where you have to journal and put down what you're working on, and things of that nature. And so that's what I did. I put a dog ear next to this because in reference to this,
Wait,
uh
hold on now. You jumping in too far. Wait a minute now. We gotta slow down. You just hold on. Okay, because I want to back up. I want to back up. In the beginning, you were, struggling with things emotionally as well as your past and everything. And so let's just back up and say, what made you say yes to working with me, even though it was for a short period of time? We didn't do the traditional coaching package. We did coaching a couple times, and then you purchased several of my books. So, what made you say yes to working with me, even though it was for a short period of time?
because the very first conversation that we had, I was like, you're just bringing things naturally out of me.
Hmm.
I wasn't even aware was there because I'm also a coach, but even coaches need coaches, right?
Amen. Amen.
And we often see everybody else so clearly, but it's hard to see yourself when you're inside your own body.
Yep. Yep.
So you were bringing things out. And I will say the one thing that did make my process a little bit easier and faster with you is because I was willing to listen to what you were saying. I wasn't taking it as um, like a harsh criticism, or you're trying to be mean, or you're trying to hurt my feelings, or I had done just enough work to be able to receive, and I learned
Mm,
to receive. And so being able to receive from you when you did say something that brought emotion up in me, then I just allowed it to come out and I accepted it. And I'd be like, damn it, look what you did. Damn it. Ugh. But I would allow it to flow because I want to heal. And I
mhm,
think you provided the greatest, safest space for me to do that. I felt so
mhm,
comfortable with,
mhm,
like, and I just, ooh, like I'm getting chills right now because I remember that moment. Like, I was like, oh, I did all the work. Because you're gonna have some people that's like, oh, honey, I did all the work. Okay, okay,
mhm.
work. Guess what? Here come Marshawn, baby. You got some more work to do.
Okay. So because you mentioned a lot of stuff, but the one thing that stood out to me right there was you saying that I made you do some homework. Well, not made you. You chose to do the homework that we discussed, right? There's a choice. And then you were basically saying that I pulled some stuff out of you. So I want to slow down and back up just a little bit. Had you worked with a coach or a therapist prior to being introduced to me? And if so, why do you think that they didn't pull that out of you? And I know that this is kind of just your opinion, but why do you think that they didn't pull the thing out of you prior to myself? Because it
Um,
could have been you as well.
I feel like you were the first. actual couples like therapy coach that I worked with at that time.
Okay.
Everybody else was more geared towards uh, self-love, betterment of the self, healing of the self. And this was my first time working from a relationship standpoint because I had been single that whole time. So, you talking about at that point, I was single for like almost 3 years at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I wasn't working with a relationship coach,
Okay. Okay.
and you were the first one. So
Okay.
you're gonna ask questions that you're gonna ask questions geared towards marriage and relationships that they're not gonna ask as me being a single person.
I see. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So did you do any of the work, like the action, the homework that they mentioned before, or did you kind of just let it fall by the wayside because maybe you didn't feel you were getting what you needed in that moment?
No, I did the homework, but I don't think it was um again, it was more individual.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
I feel like with the time that you came into my life, I not to say this arrogantly, but I was like, okay, I got myself.
Mm, mhm.
But I've been married before several times, and I've been in several relationships, and there's something I'm missing there, and that's where you come in
Okay.
because I don't. I needed that thing that says, what is it that you're doing that could
Mhm.
possibly be sabotaging? Because that was a word you used during our session too. You like, baby, you sabotaging. And I'm like, am I? And you were like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yes.
If you're going in with fear of already losing the man and you ain't even got there yet,
Hello. Hello. Hello.
that would be that would be sabotage. So I think you brought in it what when you're work I'll say this, when you're working on yourself, right? And I am the self-love coach that I'm talking about, right? Because
Okay.
I help people with self. I don't help people with marriages and relationships. I help them to better their self so they can be open and receive the information that
Mhm.
what they need to do to better themselves. Now once you get in that relationship, you're gonna have to holler at Marshawn because I can help you. I'm gonna tell you about you. I can't help you because even in my personal life, in my friendships, I always tell my friends, I will never tell you to leave somebody,
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, unless there is, DV like some harsh, if it's not, but couples are gonna have their challenges. It's just
Mhm.
you just are. And I have yet to find that man, that husband that's saying, baby, I'm in it to win it with you.
Mm.
And because I haven't yet not yet experienced that, I don't feel strong enough to teach it. And I don't know how to pull that thing. I mean, the longest relationships that I was in, um, doing the homework, uh, I realized that I was choosing people that lack integrity and respect for the dynamic of relationships.
Okay. Mhm. Mhm.
So the only reason why I noticed that is because I was making relationships all about me, 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 me. So when you came in, it's like, okay, yeah, but you're sabotaging. You're sabotaging because I am making it about me. I'm scared for me, but never once thought to ask him how he felt.
Ooh, ooh, that's good right there. That's good. That's good. Well, listen, because the, go ahead. No, no, go.
This is where your book came in. This
Mm. Do tell. Tell us more.
is where the book came in. So I don't want to give it away, but I'll say because you asked me about some of the prompts, right, that I like, and this is what I like. I like the weekly gratitude, right?
Hmm.
You have
Okay.
to write like a certain number of things. Um, and when I would write these with him, I decided to go through this daily. At the end of the day, um, every day that he did something, we would talk about it. I say, okay, today I have gratitude for you for these three things, and it
Hmm.
helped our bond to grow. So, like, I'll read one of them if you want.
Hmm.
So one of the things, oh hell, I can't even read my own. Okay, there we go. So on one, oops. Okay, so on one of these so on one day after we had conversations back and forth, what I discovered about him that day was I liked his transparency,
Hmm.
and I liked his ability to be able to express himself. I love a man who can express himself. I don't want to have to like pull it out of you. Like just give it
Yeah.
to me.
Hmm.
And then I like the fact that he had good leadership when it came to certain aspects of our life, like creating plans and things like that. He was very good at that. And then so me telling him that, um it was a way of pouring into him,
Yeah.
right? And it was also helping me to see that these are qualities that I like and that I desire, you
Hmm.
know, and that they're already there. I don't have to beg for it. I don't have to ask for it. It's just naturally there.
Love that. Love that. Okay. So I wanted to point this out because you brought it up out of the book, and there was if I'm not mistaken, it was one for like basically 7 days, right? It was 7 days each week at one of those. Okay, so it's very important to express your gratitude to your partner. And I know that a lot of us fall by the wayside to doing this, but because we get complacent and we don't know how much that's actually helping the other person. And as you mentioned, the bond between the two of you. And what it's helping you do is to focus on his good qualities, the things that he's doing right, because a lot of us have a tendency to only focus on what he's not doing or what he's doing wrong or what he's not bringing to the table, and that's where a lot of the negativity stays in the relationship on us about our partner. But there is that shift that you actually have experienced, as and me as well, when we focus on the positive and what the person is actually bringing to the relationship. It's so much easier at the end of the day to feel like you chose somebody right,
Yes,
because we know that we are imperfect people. We know that we're going to mess up. We know that we are flawed intellectually.
yes,
But in that moment of him messing up or you messing up with him, we feel like it's the worst thing. Like, how could you? How could you? So focusing on the good, focusing on the positive, and expressing it. Now, that wasn't something I put in the book. That was something that you decided to do. So I'm applauding you for deciding to actually speak those words, because most people hold on to them and maybe keep them inside the book. But I love the fact that you made this book and several others, but this one specific, you called it a magic book. And I remember you telling me that a while back, because now it's been a few years since you've done this work. But I'm really, really happy that you took it and made it your own. And he was a willing participant.
yeah.
He was a
And
willing participant.
that is the quality that I love the most, because so often the men in my life are like, no, I'm no therapy, and no, I ain't express myself.
Mhm.
No, and you're doing too much. I need to know all this, and I just feel like a pin cushion, just
Mm,
coming, and then we go to sleep, and then we wake up, and I fix you breakfast, and then we go to sleep. I mean, I'm not a pin cushion. I have feelings and emotions. I mean,
gosh,
I like being a pin cushion, but I want to be a pin cushion with conversation. Like I want
that part,
a
that part with conversation.
young woman, but you got to feed this before you
Yeah,
feed.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So, but when you said that, let me tell you what made the book magic. I know you know why the book is magic, but let me tell y'all why the book was magic. So, um, what I wrote in here was the part about me being afraid of reconnecting and then him maybe wanting to get revenge and hurt me.
Right.
So
Okay.
I wrote down here because you have to write what you're going to be committed on for the whole week,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So I wrote that I wanted to release rejection and learn to feel secure.
Hmm.
Um, and that was the main thing I wrote down. And then I started, I wrote, I followed the instructions for the journal prompt, and I wrote down all the gratitudes. And to me, this is what excuse me, what happened when I started writing all those gratitudes. Um, when it got to the end of the week, you're supposed to go and look at what you wrote and see if you still need work or not. And the fear had just disappeared.
Mm.
It was gone.
Mm.
To this day, it is still gone. I got another piece of the story for that, but it is still gone.
Okay, wait. So how long after you started this project, if you will, your homework,
Mhm.
how long after you started did you so was this like, okay, let me finish the question. How long after you started journaling did the fear dissipate? Was it like the first day, first week, first month? Like how long in your mind? Was it weeks, days?
I started that Monday, and I didn't even realize that it was dissipating.
Mm.
It just was. By the time I got to I think the end of the week was. Let me see what the end of the week was. The end of the week was Sunday. By the time I got to Sunday, I was like,
Mm.
it was gone in the one week. It was
Okay.
gone, and then I was like, I don't have this fear no more. Wait a minute.
Mm.
And I remember telling you, and you was like, what did you do? I said, no, what did you do? Your magic book did it. To this day, I still cannot explain to people how I lost, not, I'm going to say lost, released that fear, and how
Mm.
you helped me. And you like, no, you did the work. And I said, no, you're going to get some of this glory, baby. You better take some of this glory because, and everywhere, and Marshawn will tell y'all, every once in a blue moon, she'll get a random voicemail from me. And I will say,
Yeah. You.
I am so grateful. I have gratitude. I am so thankful. I know this happened so long ago. Like this happened like 2020. This is like 2020 when this happened. It's 2025, y'all. It's
Mm. Mm.
it's still gone. Hallelujah. Like it is the people. As a coach, I usually break things down. Like I got a whole process on how to let things go.
Okay.
I have a whole process on how to change your words and change your experience, but I cannot, other than say, get the book and get to work. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. If the thing was gone, and it's still gone. Now, I will share what happened because I don't want everybody thinking that your girl is still with him, because what happened was 23 years is a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and we're different people. And we just decided to mutually go our separate ways, is what ended up happening. Now, I'm going to tell you how, again, releasing that fear helped me with this part of it. Because the old version of me in a separation or a breakup, I boohoo, I cry. As my friend said, she was sinking to the couch. We sink into the couch.
Mm.
I
Mm.
get depressed. I can't eat. I can't, oh my God, I'm never going to find another love in my life. And when we mutually agreed, I was like, okay, I'll move out. And he was like, because see, he didn't have a book. He didn't have the release of the,
Mhm,
he
mhm,
still had the old ways. And old school is, I gotta be mad at you, I gotta hate you, gotta give you my 100% all before I just give up. That's old school. No, you know what? we are just not aligned, and that's okay that we're not aligned.
Okay.
I don't have a fear of losing you. Like, I love you. I love the experience. I have that gratitude for everything that you gave me. You know what I'm saying? And so moving forward, I just took it on as this is just another experience for me. That's what happened. I think if I still would have had that fear of losing him, I feel as though I would have, because that baby, that was the gift you gave me. If I would still have that fear of losing him, I would have sank into the couch. I would
Mm.
have that
Mhm. Mhm.
depression. I would have
Mhm.
felt like I could never love again. And I ended up choosing to say, I'm not afraid of losing you. I still love you. I don't
Mhm.
have to. We can be friends. He was like, hell no. And I'm okay with that, you know.
So
But
he
yeah, and I'm okay with that. But one thing he said to me, that one thing he said was, man, he said, you ain't upset or nothing. It's almost like, oh, this is just another experience. And in my head, I'm going, thank you, Marshawn, because yes, it is another experience. And from this day forward, it has been the same, not just in dating. I'm still single right now,
Mhm. Mhm.
because I'm not afraid to lose nobody. And if
Mm.
somebody is not aligned with me, ooh, I'm
Mm.
you
Come
got
on now. Come on now. Come on now. Go on into this testimony, y'all. Y'all better hear. Listen, go.
I am still not afraid, baby, because if we're not aligned, I'm not afraid to say we're not aligned.
Mm.
That's why you gave me the gift that keeps on giving, baby. I
Mm.
and that's why gratitude to you for the way you we're gonna be 80 years old. And baby, thank you for letting me helping me release that fear, baby. And I think you messed up giving me this gift because everybody like, dang, Tina, you just be cutting people off. Or you just allow people to be where they are.
People should be released from your life that are not in alignment,
Yeah.
right? That are not on the same page as you. And when you understand that you have the power, and Blue Sapphire just said it, it's powerful to walk away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It really is. But you're able to walk away because you understand what you're bringing to the table. You understand your worth now. And that was the whole thing that finally clicked for you.
Yeah.
That needs to click for a lot of us. We already have everything that we need within us. And so us walking in fear does not serve us. Anytime we're walking in fear, we lose as the fearful person. And I'm gonna take it there. God said, "We, what you fearful about? Tomorrow gonna take care of tomorrow." I did not give you that feeling of fear, and I'm paraphrasing, right? So
You're
it's
not wrong.
it's so important for us to really understand who we are, to love who we are, ideally before we get into these relationships and especially marriages, because that was something that I struggled with myself, which is why I'm a part of the statistic. I had no idea who Marshawn was at the time. I didn't fully embody love. I didn't stand with 10 toes down on you ain't about to do this and I'm this, and not with all this bravado. I'm being harder here because I'm not with my man, right? But when we're having a conversation, I'm still okay if you're not okay with what I'm saying, but it needs to be said. I'm going to deliver it in a way that I feel is, good. But at the same time, if I'm also, because I'm mature enough to know sometimes I do get in my feelings because I'm human. And if I'm able to deliver a message to you to say, this might not be the best delivery, but I need to just get this out right now. And then be able to say it that way, because that way both of y'all are now seeing the maturity. And so for the two of you to be able to have an adult conversation with one another and to actually say mutually, we need to part ways because we have been apart for 23 years. That's a long time to fill in the gap. We tried this thing, it didn't work out. So that is such a beautiful thing. When you start to do this inner work, when you start to do the work on yourself, it doesn't mean that the person or the relationship that you're even currently in, you're going to stay there, because what you're going to realize is a lot of stuff Once you start to do this inner work and once your eyes are open, they can never be shut again. You can never stop viewing and seeing the truth of your partner, of the person in front of you. So if you get yourself together, if you do the inner work prior to you getting into the relationship or starting now, because most of us didn't hear these things and we didn't get this energy, which is why there's so many broken homes and divorces and all that stuff, because we just didn't know. And so now that we know better, now it's our obligation and duty to do better by doing the work. And as I mentioned, if you're just coming in here, Tina and I, we didn't even work together for a long period of time. There have been clients right now, as well as previous clients. Well, I have been working with them for years. We've worked together, like I think it was like 3 or 4 conversations, coaching conversations. And then Tina decided to do it a different way. She purchased a lot of my journals and she started going down. And this is the one she talks about the most, but she's absolutely purchased several of them. And she's right. I have gotten several messages from her periodically just to say thank you. This came up for me today. I want you to know that I really appreciate you on whatever it is that she's leaving a message about. We all have to do our own work. And once you understand that you are the queen, that you do wear the crown, that you do possess the power, that you can stand 10 toes down in your confidence and be courageous and ask for the things that you want, ask for the things that you desire in your relationship, but also not just from him. What do you want from yourself? How do you want to show up in your relationship? And if you're not in a romantic relationship, how do you want to show up in the world? Your relationship with yourself. Do you have your relationship with yourself together? Do you trust yourself with your own choices? Right. And so we have to be willing to really take a deeper dive into who we are and how we're showing up and the things that matter to ourselves prior to, because once you get into a relationship, especially if you're going in with desperation written all over you, you are already self-sabotaging the relationship, whether you realize it or not. You're already on the losing end of the stick. So sorry, I listen, I felt like I needed to get that out. Somebody needed to hear that today because Tina's supposed to be the one talking.
No, we both talk, baby. I've said it all. You again. I have so much gratitude. I can never thank you enough for that gift that just kept on giving, baby.
Mm.
And now I tell everybody when they ask me, I said, well, if you want to release what you got a book with Marshawn, and then you got the book from
Mm.
Marshawn.
Mm. Mm. Okay, so speaking of that, because you might have mentioned some of it already, but I want to specifically ask this question. What did you learn about yourself through your reflection, through your journaling? What did you learn about yourself?
uh Before we came on, I was actually going back through in here, Rick, because I have not opened this book up since 2020. Like
Mm.
all that,
Mm.
and I was looking and I was like, oh wow, like, oh, I missed that one. Because there were some things under the reflections that I wrote down, and I was like, these were things that I wanted to change about him. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you're not supposed to be changing him, Tina. You're supposed to be seeing if it's aligned, and if it's aligned, then move forward. And
Mm.
that's what I discovered when I was going back through reading it and reading the actual reflections in here. Was like, everything was like, yeah, yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, yeah, a gratitude, but I need you to be who I want you to be. And that
Mm.
was something that I thought I had gotten rid of. And so with going back and reading that, I was like, wow, because now I do feel that way. Like when I'm looking at, a potential uh, um, person to date,
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to observe, just observe and allow them to show me who they are, not make no judgments, not try to change them who they are, not try to question who they are. And
Mm-hmm.
then because I have that gift that you gave me of not having the fear of releasing them, right? If it's not aligned, then I'm just like, this doesn't work.
Mm.
And
Mm.
that's and I release them, and I release them with love, baby, and I release them quick.
With love. With love. Absolutely.
I don't have to be old school. I'm gonna be mad. So I can go back and be a victim and say, man, I gave them everything, and they no, I don't do that no more. I just I observe. I say thank you for the experience. I had the attitude of gratitude.
Mhm.
And it also helped me to see qualities in him that he had that I would love to have in my future husband. And
Mm.
I don't know if I would ever saw that if I would have wrote it down in here, you know.
Listen, y'all see, she didn't pen and paper. She put the pen to the paper. She actually did do the work. It's not just for the play today. She actually did do what she said she did. And you ain't got to flip through your whole book because it is personal. But I just so actually I'm gonna stop for a moment and ask the audience a question. You can I want you to answer it too, Tina. But I'm ask the audience question. I have it right here. So if you could speak to the version of yourself who was trying so hard to hold it all together, what would you say to her? If you could speak to the version of yourself who was trying so hard to hold it all together, what would you say to her?
Releasing fear gives you power.
Mm. Releasing fear gives you power. Okay. I'm gonna start really quickly. A few of you have mentioned pin the book. So you're gonna see me looking down so I can look for the link and then I'm gonna put it in there. So yes, that's the name of it. It's called I'm Grateful for You, but I'm gonna pin the link in there. So when you see me looking down, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. Uh Shiloh, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. I love it. It's okay to fall apart. It is okay. It is okay. It is. And Patrice said it is okay to let go and give yourself grace.
Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So I'm glad that you ladies are answering the question. Thank you so much. If there's anybody else out there, go ahead and answer it. If you're watching on the replay later, then go ahead and answer. I would love to see what you had to say. But if you could speak, this is the question again. If you could speak to the version of yourself who was trying so hard to hold it all together, what would you say to her? So thank you so much, ladies, for participating. Now, listen, listen, Blue Sapphire, listen, the breakup is the blessing. Amen. Amen
Amen.
and amen.
The
The breakup is the blessing. Go ahead, go.
another experience, baby.
Hmm.
It's just an experience. It's like riding a roller coaster, baby. You just got off the roller coaster and said, "Woo! Next time I'm gonna wear that seatbelt tighter, or next time I'm gonna throw my hands up in the air when I go." Ooh, I
Mm,
like it.
mm.
Oh,
Listen, it's so important for you to be able to just let go, for you to just walk away and understand that you don't, and Tina mentioned it several times, you don't have to be the angry black woman or the angry woman just holding on to all this stuff. Because if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that I say this anyway. You must forgive, because forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you to be able to release. Forgiveness is for you to be able to forgive that person, of course, but also to literally allow that junk to roll off your shoulders, out of your body. Most of us don't realize that we hold tension in, and it has to be released in some way. Some All of it is a disease, right? Disease. All of it is a dis-ease within your body. Some people experience common colds over and over and over again. Some, experience flu. Some experience cancer. Yes, it's that deep. Like, we have to realize that we have to release this junk. Talking about these things helps you to release this junk. I have a friend who actually says she pays for her friends. Now, what she actually meant by that is I have to pay my coaches to help me to be the best version of myself. She don't want to just be out here flailing around. And I think a lot of us are out here just trying to figure it out on our own. And I'm not saying that that's the worst thing to do. You're doing something. But if you can cut through all the noise, working with your coach and even simultaneously with the therapist, because I recommend both of them simultaneously to get the most out of it, because your therapist usually works with your past and your coach is trying to help you get to your future faster. So I recommend them simultaneously, but I digress. Working with a professional who can just draw things out of you, who can hear things that you're not saying. I had, and I know I'm talking to Tina today, but I had another client who was telling me, actually two, I'll tell you about one of them. One of them actually mentioned, you asked me this question. I've been working with therapists for a number of years, and nobody has ever asked me this question that you just asked me. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of my gifts. I literally can hear what you're not saying and then ask that question directly. And that's just one of the things that we must be willing to do is put ourselves out there, be vulnerable, and work with someone that can help you get to the next level that much faster.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for putting that up there, Blue Sapphire. The breakup is the blessing.
Yeah.
Hair problems and no edges plus more say it's okay to fall. Excuse me, it's okay to fail. It's not the end, only a beginning. Once you've learned a better way. Absolutely. It's only listen, this is just the beginning. It's the beginning of your new life. It's the beginning of you understanding what lessons you should have learned. So it's taking time for you to reflect on what was actually happening in your life and why you even chose that person. Because when the breakup happens, some of it has to be you have to own the part that you played and take accountability for the things that you were doing or not doing. Right. So and then Blue Sapphire also said forgiveness is so necessary to progress. Absolutely. It is. Literally it is a must.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I'm gonna take it to the Bible once again, right? Because God said, how you think I'm gonna forgive you if you haven't forgiven? But that includes you. You have to forgive you, not just the other person or people that have harmed you, that have wronged you. You have to be willing to forgive you as well. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you another question, Miss Tina. This is your turn. Okay, it's your turn again.
Okay.
Um, we already know because you mentioned it already that that particular relationship didn't work out.
Right.
How do you feel today, or if you can remember how you felt in that moment about having that conversation and how you approached the decision to two part to go into possibly let's see if we can rekindle this, and then when it didn't work out. So how did you feel going into it, and how did you feel once you two made a mutual decision to say this ain't working?
Yeah. I went into it open. I was very open. I went into it with the um, observation mode,
Mm-hmm.
no expectation. Um, and I felt free and I felt liberated.
Mm.
And it felt good to not hold him hostage to our past that we had, and also to not hold him hostage to the past of what other men had done to me in the past also.
Ooh, ooh, that's
So
good.
that was huge. Um, when we came upon the realization that it wasn't working, um, I feel like it was more challenging for him, because I was more like, okay, this is not working. We're just not aligned. Doesn't mean I don't love you. I
Mm,
still love you. It's just that we are not aligned. And it was he at one point felt like I was just giving up,
okay.
because again, old school says, I'm gonna fight for you, I'm gonna do everything toxic, I'm gonna stay in it, I'm gonna give you my all, I'm gonna do. And I was just like, it's we're not aligned.
Mm,
It wasn't that I didn't want to fight. It was that we had faced a lot of challenges, and it just kept seeming that we kept boomeranging around to the same. I mean, it would be a band-aid, and then it would be the same thing, and then the band-aid, and then the same thing. And I was just like, I don't want to get to the point where I don't want to get to the point where I don't love you no more. And people ask me of every marriage and every relationship that I was ever in, they were like, which one did you feel the most yourself and the most in love? And it was with him.
mm,
Why
mm-hmm.
that second chance?
Okay. Okay.
I realized I now I had that experience to know what love feels like. And I have
Mhm.
not ever been that. particular woman again. And I have never had that experience with a man again since then.
Okay.
I have been married, I've been in some relationships, you know, but that pure love and that synergy that we had, I believe that if we wouldn't have faced those couple of challenges we had back then, we probably would have still been together.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel good. I feel like giving him that second chance, or him giving me that second chance. I do have closure on that relationship, and I still love him. I still love him. It's not lying. It's just not lying, you know.
Okay. Okay. So that actually leads me to asking you this. So you already shared a journal prompt, right? But we didn't specifically talk about journaling. So what surprised you the most when you started going through this journaling process?
Um, how fast stuff was gone by the end of the week every time I wrote in it.
Mm,
And I think a lot of that has to do with just getting it out. And don't get me wrong, I have written things before, but this to me was giving vibes of set it and forget it.
okay.
And I was writing it and I was setting it and I down. And then at the end of the week, when I would go check, it would just be gone. I mean, the things that I wrote in there, they just, by the end of that week, literally they will be gone. That's why I kept saying, this is your magic book. Like, because they would just be, I still, in anything I wrote in here that has disappeared, I can't tell you, I cannot give you a step by step or
Okay.
nothing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Tell you it's gone. I can tell you I did everything every day that was in this book, and it's just gone. I mean, I pray that's anybody that gets this book, I pray that's the experience for them, because it's definitely the experience for me. It's just gone. I tried to create a process to on how to release your fear, and I can't, because it just, I don't know. It's like it just went in and ripped it out and threw it away.
Hmm. Hmm.
I can't even create a process for it. I love it actually. I need to write
Ooh.
stuff in here.
Okay. So in your journaling, you were like, okay, this is something that I need to do. So just for clarification though,
Yeah,
I know that you're saying every week you wrote in it. So it's not just a 1 week book, right? It's several weeks,
yeah,
right? And you did it. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. Because each thing was building. Like I when after we had our conversation, I just started it off with here. Let me see. I just started it off with the gratitude first. That was the first prompt. I started off with the gratitude, and then I started writing why I had gratitude. And then as I was writing, things was popping up like, oh, but this is something about him, right? Um, and I would write that down, and then I would work on it throughout the week. So the writing that I was doing was basically, it's like an invisible Marshawn as I was writing, pulling things out, like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Uh-huh.
was helping me in the journal. She done got her money and she's still coaching in the book.
But that is, let's be real. This one is a much lower cost than working with me weekly or daily.
Yes.
But you see how powerful it is.
I think if you have never had a session with Marshawn before, don't think you're gonna have one session and just get a book and then be good. Like, I think it will be easier for you as a future client if you're actually willing to do the work and be open to what she's saying, and not try to have her pull it out, because when she feel it, it's like I tell clients when they try to, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I know you done had some of them clients before too.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. And what I tell my clients is I love you, but, and whenever they hear that I love you, but, they know what's coming. I love you, but I'm not changing my answer. I said what I said. This is what I feel. So are you going to be real or not? And that's usually when that thing comes up, and then that emotion comes up, or that anger, that sadness, whatever it is, it comes up. And that's the same thing that you do, Marshawn. It's the same thing. Like, if you're gonna come to her, then come and be open.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why this worked, the only reason why our sessions work, it was because I was open and vulnerable, and I wanted her to pull this out. I don't want to hold on to it. And I think sometimes, and this is just, coach to coach, and you may agree with me or not, I think you may agree, coach to coach though, a lot of the time they don't want to let it go.
Mm.
Pull it up.
Mm.
We pull it up, and they
Mm-hmm.
push it down. We
Mm-hmm.
pull it up, and they put. Now you want to keep doing that and keep. Go ahead. Don't let it. Nobody's wrong. But the longer it takes you to get this one thing out, take this one layer off. We got 100 more layers, and you fiddle farting around on this one layer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She got to get some work in. This book that you're gonna do, it's not gonna be a one-hitter quitter. The session you do with Marshawn, even Marshawn said it. This was just what did you say we did? 3
I
sessions.
think it was 3. Yeah.
That was 3 sessions on just this one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So don't think that it was just all we did, like 500 different things. This was very focused work, but this was what was most important to me. So if I do another session with Marshawn, it's going to be about something completely different.
Yeah.
That's the thing with coaching. You're not going to hit the same thing every time. And what you said earlier about going to therapy, I have my therapist in conjunction. I'm a coach. I coach other people. I go to a therapist, and I utilize the services of other coaches, because I'm not just a teacher, I'm also a student.
Yeah. Absolutely. Amen. Absolutely. Okay, so I want to thank you, because listen, we can go to church if y'all don't know.
I was like, when
Okay.
he talked about forgiveness, I'm like, oh baby, that's a whole nother topic. I can go back all day on that, baby. Because
Wait, okay, so I want to read this one. Hair problems and no edges plus more said, I struggle every day, in caps, with forgiveness. My mother is a very religious woman and often speaks to me on this very topic. I pray God soften my heart before the end of days. Forgiveness is a must. Yes, it is. And so here's what I want to ask you. What are you doing in order to forgive? Whether it's a person, whether I'm assuming it's person, whether it's one person or people, plural, right? What are you doing to make sure that you really believe that forgiveness is a must? Why are you struggling with this every single day? Why is because I'm curious, and you can type as much as you want to put in the chat. You can type as much as you want to put in the chat, but I'm curious, why are, I know, Tina, I see you, baby, I see you, but why are you struggling with this every day, especially since you understand and know that forgiveness is a must? Now, while I'm waiting for hers to come in, Tina, come on, baby, come on, come on,
oh my
tell
God, this is my topic. Oh my God, girl. Because I had an epiphany a couple of weeks ago to help me on this very thing. But I want to say this first, because people used to say this, and I never understood it, right? Okay, forgiveness is for you, it's not for them. Okay.
me. Okay.
Forgiveness does not mean that you are giving them permission to repeat the offense. Okay, we know that. We know that already. But what is really forgiveness for Tina? Forgiveness for Tina is learning the lesson. That's what forgiveness is.
Mm,
Forgiveness is learning the lesson, being able to give a testimony on it, and create a boundary on it,
mm,
and move forward.
mm,
That's when you know you have forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
On a side note, my problem was I understood how to forgive. Forgiveness means I have learned the lesson and I am able to move forward. And now I got some wisdom. That's forgiveness to me, right?
Okay.
But what happens when the person that you love has someone else that did something to them and you lack forgiveness for that person that hurt the person that you love?
Mm.
This is what I did, hot off the presses. 2 weeks ago, it finally came to me the reason why I was holding on to someone else's anger. They're not even angry, they still friends with the person.
They
I'm
over here chopping it up, and here you come.
holding on, I'm still mad, and you still being used, and you don't. I digress. But what I found out was the reason why I was holding on to lack of forgiveness for the other person was because it wasn't the other person that I was mad at. I was really mad at my loved one for allowing it to continue.
Mm.
I had to forgive my loved one, and that hurt. That hurt because I had to forgive them for not being able to protect themselves the way I wanted them to protect themselves,
Did you hear it though? The way you want it.
the way I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I got a problem with me. I told you,
but
right?
but but that happens so often.
Right?
The you're in a relationship and you have now shared X, Y, and Z with your friend, your family, your bestie, whatever. That's usually in the wrong that happened in your relationship. And then y'all two, you and partner, lover, hopefully have had a conversation because now y'all over and y'all BFFs and y'all kikiing and all that other stuff. But what we forget to do is to go back to the person that we was telling all the stuff, all the bad stuff to, and say, you know what, this is how this thing was corrected. So now they feelings can be out of y'all relationship. When they see your man, when they see y'all together kikiing, they could be okay with y'all relationship. I highly recommend releasing and getting the stuff out. What I don't recommend with my clients is that they telling anybody that will listen to their diggity doggone problems.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give y'all some free game. Okay, I'm giving it to you. When you need to release, because you will, about your partner, choose one or two people. This could be your therapist, it could be your coach, but it could be a good friend, one that you know is going to give you some sound advice, that is going to help you to say, okay, I know that you're pointing the finger at him, but what are you doing or not doing? Right. So we have to be able to discern who we can actually share this negative stuff that is occurring in our relationships. Because again, you over it, your man over it, y'all back to loving each other, kissing each other, y'all out in the public and doing and posting pictures. And the person or people that you told all this negative stuff to on the side, they still holding on to all this stuff. They still angry at your man. And you like, well, wow, I don't understand why you don't like him. You did that. You in this mouth of yours did that to your relationship. And why your friend is now seeing your man a different way. Why your family, why your mama is seeing your man a different way. This got you in trouble because not only did you go to share the bad, you forgot to report how that gap was closed.
But guess what? Even though they closed the gap, I was still mad.
See, you said you got a problem, so that's your problem.
So I had to say to myself,
Look.
I allow my loved one to have their own experience. And I had to.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What did control look like in your dating or relationship patterns, right? So after a while, if we're paying attention, the lessons that we learn in the reflecting time after the relationship has ended, because that's most of the time when we do it, if we do it. I highly recommend that we do it periodically throughout the relationship, but I digress. right? What did control look like as a pattern for you? Because you reflected, you now
Yeah,
understand these lessons and what you were doing right, what you were doing wrong. How did control show up in your dating and relationship life?
I can tell you right now in one sentence. I
Okay.
wanted them to be who I wanted them to be. Period. What?
I ain't said nothing, period. You put a period on there.
I had a problem, okay? I had a problem no more though, because now I just observe and I say, oh, okay, this is who you are.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, I'm good. All right. And I
mm-hmm,
either am going to connect with you or I'm not.
mm-hmm,
There's something that I can't connect with, then I'm matured enough, I'm grown enough to have a conversation with you to see if we can come to some type of middle ground where you're happy and I'm happy. Because we're not sacrificing our happiness no more, right? It's not going to be Tina is unhappy and you happy, and it's not going to be you unhappy and Tina's happy. We're either both going to be happy on this topic or we both going to move on. And some people are like, Tina, you can't always be that stringent. Well, right now I am. Right now I am. Because I don't want to, I see people in relationships, and I've been in relationships where people have sacrificed their happiness and they're still years later complaining about the same thing. And I
mm-hmm.
don't,
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, 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 that's real. That's real. And why? Okay, so let me ask you this: why or what advice? Nope. Who are the people that saying that you can't be this stringent? Who are those people?
the ones that's in that relationship that they
Right. Okay.
complain about.
Right. So when
But
we think about the people, okay, because I feel like you hearing that, but you just letting that roll off. Is that right? Okay. So in that, this is what I mean by being able to discern the people that you are taking the information from, right? So if these are not people that are in a model type of relationship that you want to be in, you shouldn't take their advice. And or they give beautiful advice that they don't take themselves. Wait, huh?
no, they were asking me. There were some relationships where I said, you're asking me, and I'm saying, do not sacrifice your happiness. I'm not
Mm-hmm,
going to leave, but I'm going to say, do not sacrifice your happiness. Now, if you keep coming back to me, we keep circling the block on the same thing. I'm going to ask you the same question every time, because with my clients, if you cannot come back to me about the same problem twice.
mm-hmm.
I will fire you. And I have fired. I'm again, fear of loss. I have no fear of loss of losing you because you're wasting time not doing the work.
Mm-hmm,
Somebody else that wants this work can get this work. Now,
mm-hmm,
if we need to touch on it because it's tied to something else, then we can do that.
mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm.
okay, so when I did this came from this, but we're
Okay.
not talking about the same thing over and over again. We're not going to do that.
Okay. Okay. I want to stop there because hair problems, no edges, plus more answer. I feel like the ones that wronged me isn't worth my energy. So I stay away. But in my heart, I can have a conversation with God and ask him to forgive me, but not going back to that person. Okay. Tina, you was about to jump out your seat. So let's hear what you have to say. You got something to add to this? What do you have to say?
Say because they are me, right? We talking about reflections right now.
Okay. Okay.
They are me, right? Okay, wait. Okay. I got excited. Say it again. Read it again for me one more time.
Okay.
I got excited and it dropped out my brain. What she say? What she say? I
It's
can't
okay.
read.
Yep. Yep. No, it's okay. I feel like the ones that have wronged me, they
Ah,
aren't worth my energy.
right there. Okay. I feel like the ones that have wronged me. I used to say that, and I used to say straight up, and this ain't personal what I'm about to say, because this is also what I said to myself. The ones that wronged you was the ones that you picked, and the ones that you picked, you did not trust yourself because you thought that you could give people plenty of chances, turn them into who you wanted them to be. And when they did not do that, then they did you wrong. No, you selected those people, Tina. No, you selected people that did not have the integrity that you desired. You chose those people that were not in alignment with you, Tina. You chose those people that wanted you to sacrifice your happiness, and you did, and they were happy. So no, you don't get to do that.
But that's that taking accountability that we talked about. You did that.
I
You did
started
that. You did that.
accountability. So they didn't wrong me because guess what? We all have that gut instinct, that discernment,
Mhm.
whichever it is, that told us. Just like I said, when I went back through this book, I was like, oh man, I missed all of that. I missed all of that. I missed all of that. Oh, he was acting jealous at one point. Oh, I just went over that. Forget that. Right? But later on, it became a problem. Because I was like, I could deal with the jealousy, the unhappiness. I deal with it. No, you chose that. Now, if we're talking about by force, and I'm never coming from a place of by force, I'm always coming from by choice. If we chose them, so we got to take responsibility, and it's okay. They didn't wrong you; you wronged yourself when you chose them, and you started everything that was not in alignment, and you chose to stay. And like I said, I'm talking to me. That might not be nobody else, but I am talking to me. So when she said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's sister, go write that in that right there. They wronged me. Write this in this magic book. And let's get rid of that. Because
Okay. We coming up on the end. I'm gonna try to fit in 2 questions, but we might not be able to do it. So depends on how long-winded Miss Tina get. Okay, so
yeah, I'll keep it quick because my dinner date is
dinner date. I love it. Okay, so what would you say to another woman who is silently struggling with letting go of control or past pain?
letting go of control. Okay, I'm gonna tell you my definition of control: the power to influence a person or a situation by being yourself.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
So in order to let go, you have to be yourself and see who follow. Just be yourself. If you're having a hard time letting go of the past, then to me, what you're saying is I'm having a hard time learning the lesson from my past so that others can be inspired by me to be able to move forward with their life as well. Because that's what learning from the past is. It's the power to move forward. All you got to do is learn the lesson from the past. If you're having a problem with, okay, so let me do it like this. We already know that. Okay, I felt the energy. So let's go with this. What if I keep replaying over and over in my head, over and over again, that this person did something to hurt me? How do I replace that? You replace it with a memory of you doing something you love, or you replace it with a memory of them doing something that they love for you. This is a part of how you can help to lower your emotional response. But I got a whole class on that. So anyway,
you giving away free game, giving away free game. Yeah, free nugget. Okay, I just want to say really quickly, hair problems and edges plus more said facts. I did choose them. Facts, I did choose them. Okay, so now this last part is called like rapid fire releasing, right? So what it actually means, I'm going to say a couple phrases to you, and you give me your gut response, whatever it is. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5, and then after this is a wrap. Okay, so I'm gonna say it, and you just tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. The first one is being chosen.
Yes.
Control.
Yes.
Ghosting.
No.
healing,
Amen.
feminine energy.
Yes, Lord.
Okay, thank you so much for coming, Tina. This has been an awesome, awesome interview. Take on life, take on you choosing you, showing up differently. Even though that relationship didn't work out, you went into it trying to just see if there
Yeah.
was a possibility, and you went into it with love. You went into it with peace and understanding, and you did the inner work. Again, Tina is bringing up one of the books. She's done work in several of my journals, but this is the one she calls the magic book, which is why we focus so much on it today. I thank you so much for coming here today. Listen, if this has inspired you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, then absolutely do not forget to thumbs up the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because there are going to be way more conversations like this from previous clients to get their take on our work, us working together, how it shaped their life, where they were when they came in, as well as where they are now currently. So thank you guys for attending, as I already mentioned. And we're going to wrap this up, and I'll see you on the next live show. If you don't remember, next Wednesday is my next live show with Coach V Mindful, as well as Dr. L. And we're going to be talking about the things that our exes actually shared, or I should not share. Well, I guess that's share and basically told us about ourselves. And we're going to come here and share some of these things with you. So don't forget to like and subscribe for more relationship related content, because we want to help you to get you from where you at today, so you can feel embodied in your confidence, have clarity with the person that you are, as well as the relationship that you want to bring into your life, and the courage to speak up, to set boundaries, to say no, to ask for the things that you want. So with that, good night.
Night.